Hello, my friends. Today we are going to cover Chapter 8 of Class 6th NCERT, that is body movements. We'll start reading. Sit absolutely still. Observe the movement taking place in your body. You must be blinking your eyes time to time. Observe the movements in your body as you breathe. There are so many movements that happen in our bodies. When you are writing in your notebook, which part of body are you moving? Or when you turn and look at your friend, different parts of your body move while you remain at same place. In these example, you also move from one place to another. You get up and go to a teacher or to the school compound or go home after school. You walk, run, skip, jump, move from place to place. These are different movements taking place with your body. Now we'll see this table, that is how do animals move from place to place. Now here some animals are written, the body parts used for moving from place to place and how does the animal move. Cow has legs and walks. Human also have legs and walk. Snake whole body slither. Bird has wings to fly. Insects also have legs to walk. Fish has wings to move in water. Walk, run, fly, jump, creep, crawl, slither, and swim. These are only a few of the ways in which animals move from one place to another. Why are there so many differences in the ways that animals move from place to place? Why is it that many animals walk while a snake slither or crawl, a fish swim? Human body and its movements. Let us look closely to some of our own movements to begin with before looking at all these varieties of movements in animals. Here is the example written that bowl an imaginary ball at an imaginary wicket. How did you move your arm? Did you rotate it all the shoulder in the circular movement? Did your shoulder also move? Lie down and rotate your leg at the hip. Bend your arm at the elbow and leg at the knee. Stretch your arm sideways. Bend your arm to touch your shoulder with your finger. Which part of your arm did you bend? Straighten your arm and try to bend it downwards. Are you able to do it? Try to move your various parts of your body and record their movements in the table. That the table is this table. Now here activity is given, that is place a scale lengthwise on your arm so that your elbow is in the center. Ask your friend to tie the scale and your arm together. Now try to bend your elbow. Are you able to do it? No, it would be difficult to bend your arm because a scale is tied, which is a hard object, and it makes it difficult to move. Now, did you notice that we are able to bend and rotate our body in places where two parts of body seem to be joined together, like elbow, shoulder, or neck? These places are called as joints. Can you name some more joints? If your body has no down joint, did you think it would be possible for us to move in any ways at all? It would be very, very difficult if these joints would not be present in our body. What exactly is joined together at these points? Press your fingers against the top of your head, face, neck, nose, ear, back of the shoulder, hand and leg, including the fingers and toes. Did you get a feel of something hard pressing against your finger? The hard structure are the bones. Repeat this activity on the other part of body. So many bones. Bones cannot be bent. Bones are very, very hard substances. They cannot be bent. These are very hard. So that's why they are joined to something to make us movable. How do you bend your elbow? It is not one long bone from the upper arm to your twist or to your wrist. It is different bones joined together at the elbow. Similarly, there are many bones present in each part of the body. We can bend or move our body only at those points where bones meet. There are different types of joints in our body to help us carry our different movements and activities. Let us learn about some of these. First is ball and socket. This is first joint that we are going to talk about. Roll a strip of paper into a cylinder. Make a small hole in an old rubber or plastic ball under supervision and push the paper cylinder into it as shown in the figure. You can also stick the cylinder in the ball. Put the ball in the small bowl. It is the ball rotating freely inside the bowl? Is the paper cylinder also rotating? Now imagine that the paper cylinder is your arm and the ball is its end. We need to think that this paper cylinder is our arm and this is going to be end, so we can rotate these whole part or the hand. We can move the shoulder point, we can move. This is shown in this figure. um, the rounded end of the bone, its bone fits into the cavity or the hollow space of the other bone. Such a joint allows movement. Such joints can think of recollecting the body movements. We tried to begin of this section. Now the next joint is pivotal joint. That is the joint where our neck joins the head is the pivotal joint. It allows us to bend the head forward and backward and turns the head to your right and left. Try these movements. How are these movements different from those of our arm that can rotate a complete circle in its ball and socket joint? In a pivotal joint, a cylindrical bone rotates in the ring. Second is hinge joint. So the hinge joint open and close a door a few times. Observe a hinge of the door carefully. They allow the door to move back and forth. These are the joints. The hinge joints are like this. Directions of movements allowed in a hinge joint is like this, shown in this figure. The hinge joints are helpful in the elbow as their hinge joint allows a back and forth movement. These are helpful in back and forth movement. Now the next we are going to talk about is fixed joint. There are some bones in our head that are joined together at some joints. The bones cannot move at these joints. Such joints are called fixed joints. When you open your mouth wide, you can move your lower jaw away from your head, isn't it? Try to move your upper jaw now. Are you able to move it? There is a joint between the upper and the rest of the head, which is joined, fixed, and joint. We discuss only some joints that connect part of our body. What gives the different parts of body their different shapes? If you wanted to make a doll, what will you make first? Perhaps a framework to get the doll shape before making its structure, isn't it? Yes. One thing more, that the hinge joint is also present in the knee joint. This is very important. Now we're going to read further. The bones in our body also form a framework to give a shape to our body. This framework is called a skeleton, and the skeleton is like this. This is the human skeleton. These are the elbow joint. These are the hinge joint that we have read earlier. This is the bow and the socket. And how do you know that this is the shape of human skeleton? How do we know that shapes of different bones in our body? We can have some idea about shapes of number of bones in our part of body by feeling them. One way we could know this shape better would be X-ray. X-ray is very helpful to know better the shape of a human body. Did you or anyone in a family ever had X-ray or any part of your body taken? Sometimes when you are hurt, you have an accident. Doctor use X-ray images to find about the possible injuries that might have happened to the bones. The X-ray shows the shape of bone in our bodies. Feel the bones in your forearms, upper arm, lower leg, uh, and upper leg. Try to find the number of bones in each part. Similarly, feel the bones at of your ankle and knee joint and compare these with X-ray images. Bend your fingers. Are you able to bend them at every point? How many bones does your middle finger has? Feel the bone of your palm. It seems to have many bones, isn't it? Is your wrist flexible? It is made up of several bones. What will happen if it has only one bone? If the wrist would have only one bone, uh, the movement couldn't be possible in it. Now we are going to talk about further, that is, this is rib cage where the lungs are secured inside. This protects our lungs from, or this also protects the chest. This is our backbone, and this is the shoulder bone. This and here we have also read that the ball and socket joint is present. This is pelvic bones, which is our hip area. Next is the skull. This is the brain is secured here. Now we are going to read further, that is gait of animals. Earthworms. Observe an earthworm moving on soil in a garden. Gently lift it and place it on a piece of bottle. Blotting or filter paper. Observe its movements, then place it on a smooth glass plate or any slippery surface. Observe its movement now. Is it different? Is it different from that of paper? Do you find that earthworm is able to move easily on a hard, slippery surface? The body of an earthworm is made up of many rings joined end to end. An earthworm does not have bones, it has muscles which help to extend and shorten the body. During movement, the earthworm first extends the front part of the body, keeping the rear portion fixed to the ground. Then it fixes the front end and releases the rear end. It then shortens the body and pulls the rear end forward. This makes it move forward by a small distance. Repeating such muscles expansion and contraction, the earthworm can move through soil. The body secretes a slimy substance to help the movement. Next, we are going to talk about the snails. Collect a snail from a garden. Have you seen the rounded structure it carries on on the back? This is called shell, and it is the outer skeleton of the snail, but is not made of bones. The shell is a single unit. It does not help in moving from place to place. It has to be dragged along. Place the snail on a glass plate and watch it. Observe when it start moving carefully. Lift the glass paper along with the snail your head overhead. Observe its movement from beneath. The thick structure of head of the snail may come out of an opening in the shell. The thick structure is its foot, made of strong muscles. Now carefully tilt the glass paper. The wavy motion of the foot can be seen. Is the movement of the snail slow or fast as compared to an earthworm? Obviously, it would be slow. Now we are going to talk about cockroaches. Cockroaches walk and climb as well as fly in the air. They have three pairs of legs. These help in walking. The body is covered with hard outer skeleton. The outer skeleton is made of different units joined together and that permits the movement. There are two pairs of wings attached to the breast. The cockroach have distinct muscles to those near legs. Move the legs for walking. The breast muscle move the wings when the cockroach flies. Now we are going to talk about birds. Birds fly in the air and walk on the ground. Some birds like ducks and swan also swim in water. The birds can also fly because their body are well suited for flying. Their bones are hollow and light. The bones are hind limbs and are typically for walking and perching. Bones part of forelimbs are modified as wing. The shoulder bones are strong. The breastbone are modified to hold muscle for flight, which are used to move the wings up and down. This is the structure of a bird. So now next we are going to talk about fish. For fish, we need to read this activity 8, that is make a paper boat, put it in water and push it with one narrow and pointed forward. It does it go into the water easily. Now hold the boat sideways and push it into the water for from the broad side. Are you able to make the boat move in water when you push it from the sides? So here in the A part, the person is pushing the boat from the sides, which is easy, and the boat could swim in the water easily. But in the B part here, the when we push it from the broader side, it is very difficult to movement of the boat in the water. Similarly, the fishes have the shapes which has sides as streamlined. The shape is such that water can flow around it easily and allow the fish to move in water. The skeleton of fish is covered with strong muscles during swimming. Muscles make the front part of the body curve to one side and the tail part swimming forwards towards the opposite side. The fish forms a curve as shown in figure. Then quickly the body and the tail curves to the other side. This makes a jerk and pushes the body forward. A series of such jerks make the fish swim ahead. This is helped by the fins of the tail. Fish also has other fins and their body which mainly help to keep the balance of the body and to keep directions while swimming. Did you ever notice that underwater divers wear fin like slippers and their feet to help them move easily in water? So after fish we are going to talk about snakes. Snakes have a long backbone. They have many thin muscles. They are connected to each other even though they are far from another. They also interconnect the backbone, ribs, and skin. The snake's body curves into many loops. Each loop of snake gives it a forward push by pressing against the ground. Since its long body makes many loops and each loop give it this push, the snake moves forward very fast and not in a straight line. So here we end our chapter. So the keywords that we learned today is backbone, ball and socket joint, bristles, cartilages, cavity, fixed joint, gait of animals, hinge joint, muscles, outer skeleton, pelvic bone, pivotal joint, rib cage, shoulder bone, skeleton, streamlined. So here we end. Thank you so much.